everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Some adjustments will have to be made by both teams here as the weather has turned nasty and rain will be coming down throughout this game. Let's see who can manage the wet conditions better. It's the Colts going up against the Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to Central Field to link up with our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Russell Wilson leading them out there, 6-year quarterback who finished his college ball, of course, as a Wisconsin Badger.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now the rookie 7th rounder. This is Chris Carson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Now Wilson on second down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Well, if you do read man covers, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 20 carries, 62 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
first carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
In the red zone this time. Now it's Carson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it third down. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
When you look back at the 2016 season on defense for the Indianapolis Colts, when you look at the raw numbers, you're not impressed. 30th overall in total defense. So what they're trying to improve upon is playmakers. They've got to have some guys who can offset those types of numbers with making big plays and taking the ball away from the opposition.
On third down, Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, now in his 6th season out of Stanford. Here's Andrew Luck.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They go play action here on first down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. This is a nice little stretch he's putting together. Remember, 3 sacks last week.
And now he's off to the races in this game because he thinks, okay, that's the start of something big because he's in a zone. He's locked in. So offensively, you've got to occupy him. Maybe even run the ball at him as opposed to passing it so he can't just pin his ears back and rush the quarterback.
This is Marlon Mack, the rookie from South Florida. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off of play action, Luck. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Colts send out their punter. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They run again with Carson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw on third down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. John Simon in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now John Ryan, 12th year in the league, on to punt it away. Back deep is Emmanuel Sanders. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Play clock winding down. Now the former Seahawk. This is Robert Turbin. And look out. I think he's going to go. The 20, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. Robert Turbin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me, and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
After the interception, it's locked. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Some players may change, some coaches may change, but head coach Pete Carroll is still there, which means that Seattle's defense is always going to be a threat to be the top-ranked defense in the NFL. They ranked number 5 in 2016, and they continue to do it with a tremendous secondary and great pass rushers up front, able to utilize their skills to create matchup problems for offenses.
2nd and 10, Luck again. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jack Doyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Vinatieri now for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They go play action with Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. John Simon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And shedding through the tackle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And ready now for 2nd and 9. That will carry from Mack. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And Graham's got it over the middle. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Colts pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
They'll run with Mack. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now Mack. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, Luck. And some room to work. There he goes inside the 30. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We always look for breakout seasons, and Jack Doyle had one in 2016. 59 catches. What? He didn't even have that in the previous 3 seasons.
Well, previous 3, 35 combined. But he was stuck behind Kobe Fleener for a while. He went to New Orleans, really opened things up, didn't it?
Yeah, Dwayne Allen's been shipped off to New England, so Jack Doyle, truly tight end 1.
A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
And Adam Vinatieri still going strong at the age of 44. The oldest player in the NFL, entered the league in 1996.
And to put that into perspective, his age, you know who was born in December of 95? This year's #1 overall pick, Myles Garrett.
How about that? And Adam Vinatieri still making big kicks all along the way.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
And now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the ball comes loose. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is Carson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 23. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He may be playing free safety while wrapped up in a corner's body. But Earl Thomas is the best center fielder in the game. He cleans up everything back there as far as I'm concerned. I think he just has intelligence understands things, and boy, is he tough.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Mack. And he's got room. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
It's caught. Kamar Aiken. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I had a game with Baltimore a couple of seasons ago, and Kamar Aiken caught my eye in that one. Turned out he nearly had 1,000 yards that season, but last year a little bit of a slump.
Really down, 29 catches, just over 300 yards, only 1 touchdown, so they're hoping to boost his production here in Indianapolis.
He can be a strong physical inside type of a pass catcher if they can get him going.
Here's Locke. Room here to run. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Staying on the ground with Mack. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Colts send out their punter, standing right around the midfield stripe. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
First down, Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Complete. Richardson has it. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Wilson will throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. To throw again is Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Throwing again here, Wilson. And it's caught. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10.
And that one goes through the post. And we remember this guy, don't we, partner? 4.5 years as the Vikings kicker. Huge from long range. Remember how he hit the leg, that big leg that he had? Ran into his struggles near the end of his career in Minnesota, finding redemption in Seattle. Can we call it the Blair Walsh Project?
Oh, boy. We are officially off the tracks now. I'm picturing him with a camera running through the woods, shaking up and down. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Luck on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Out of the gun, Luck. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard, right around the 26.
And Andrew Luck's had a shoulder injury that's lingered since 2015. His throwing arm had a little surgery after the 2016 season. Looks like he's got his zip back.
Yeah, you're right. Some heat on that one to pick up the Colts first. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
How about the run out of Vinatieri? Had 2015, 25 straight to close it out. 2016, 19 more to set the all-time record of 44 straight field goals. He's been doing it for a long time. Could he be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Well, let me ask you, do you think so?
It would tell me that the game has evolved the way people think, and I think he deserves it.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through it, right around the 31. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it, got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Seahawks trail at home at halftime. The Colts have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Midway through the first quarter.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The play clock's running down. Throwing is Love. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Throwing on third down, Luck. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
The Colts send out their punter. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Here's Carson. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with third and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
The play fake to Lacey. Now this is Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw is Wilson, and he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Jimmy Graham had a really tough injury in 2015 that ended his season, but what a bounce back in 2016. How are you not getting any votes for Comeback Player of the Year?
I was just going to ask you that. Not that Jordy Nelson wasn't deserving, but 65 catches, 923 yards. That was the highest total by a tight end in Seahawk history.
And I think there's a chance that both of those numbers will increase in 2017.
A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll fake it. Now Love. Catch left side here by Aiken. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet, right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Here's Luck. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Time running out here on the play clock. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And this will be incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. And some room to maneuver. Now another. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll be taken down deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 69 yards. So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And the lead is down to a field goal now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. A shotgun snap for Luck. Sanders has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Now Luck. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st down and 5 for the offense. On the run, it's Robert Turner. And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard, right at the line of scrimmage. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
1st and goal here from the 9. They go play action here on 1st down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Michael Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Looked like they had a window to get that in there, but a good job rallying defensively.
Excellent timing. No pass interference. The hit jars it loose, and now they forced them into a decision. Do you go for it on 4th down or kick the field goal?
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. A nice little juke. And now running right through it. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And some space here. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. 2nd down, they need less than a yard to pick up the 1st. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
Lets this one rip, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Toe bashed it. Super toe. Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. The Colts on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. They'll need to get the play off quickly. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On 2nd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Jonathan Hankins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got Lockett. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. 6 yards to go here on second down. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jonathan Hankins in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And the Colts coming out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The rookie from Michigan State, Malik McDowell. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback. And that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They run with Turbin. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They'll run again here with Turbin. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a gain of 5. And that'll make this a 2nd down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. He'll look to throw. They find some open field here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards him.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
So Luck down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. The Colts on third down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Indianapolis, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.